There's so many different ways to attract clients. You could be on different social media platforms. You could be doing ads. You could be doing all these things. And so what a lot of people do is they have like their hands in 5 different things all at once, halfway, not really following through on any of them. So I always come back to the 4 basics of client attraction. First of all, connecting with them in the first place, engaging. So seeing, okay, what does your audience want or need, or what do they want help with? Pre-offer, which is something where you offer to help them with that thing and give them that value up front. And then the last part, the 4th one, is the conversion or the offer or the proposal, if you will, whatever it is you're selling.
Hey guys, welcome to episode number 124 of the Game On Girlfriend podcast. Today, I'm bringing you Miss Hailey Rowe. She is an online strategist and coach who deals specifically in sales and marketing. What we really honed in on and what I hope you listen for is our focus on how you can get specific. It can get really scary for so many business owners to sort of really figure out what your specialty is and to get specific about who you can help and get specific about what problem you solve, or get specific about how you solve it. Those are kind of the 3 biggies. What does one do to be able to sit down and figure out how you're going to offer your services, your products, your ideas to the marketplace in a way that people go, oh, that's what I've been looking for. It sounds like, well, duh, of course it's what you have to do. You're a business owner, but it's just not that easy. It takes a lot of work. It's not just about creating the pretty on Canva, right? It's not just about using all the right words or the right emojis or all these things that we're kind of feeling pushed into given the social media craze. It's about speaking to the person you need to speak to in a way that they can hear you. That takes thought. Really listen for what she says about specificity, but also about how to create your pre-offer so that people get sort of a taste of who you are and what you have to offer the marketplace. All right, so pop in those earphones and let's get to it. Hailey, welcome to the Game On Girlfriend podcast. I'm really happy to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here and very excited to chat with you about entrepreneurship and the whole journey.
Now, before we jump in, because I know you are like really great at client attraction, which heaven knows we could all use more of. I don't think any of us are ever like, I don't need to learn more about client attraction. But before we jump into that, can you tell us a little bit about your backstory? Like, why is this what you love to do?
I started in the coaching industry in 2010. I had to get legal guardians signing my paperwork because I was very young at the time. And I loved coaching. I loved helping people with personal development. I love that whole thing. And what I realized was, you can go through a lot of certification programs or whatever it is you sell as an entrepreneur. You can love your craft and be really good at it. But if you don't know how to run a business for it and you don't know how to market and sell, it's going to be really hard to make that your career. It's going to be this hobby that you're doing. And, you're going to feel like, okay, I want to get paid for my hobby and I want to keep doing my hobby, but where do I start? So for me, I got a bachelor's in entrepreneurship. I decided I wanted to work for some startups in business development and marketing to get some experience. And I did that for a while, kind of thinking in the back of my head, I wanted to have my own business and, not quite sure what it was going to look like yet, but wanted to get that experience. And so then in 2017, I had totally, let my coaching practice go because I was very busy working for these startups and you're wearing like 12 different hats and you're working all the time. And one day we all got let go on a Zoom call. And I thought I'd just been told I might be getting promoted. And, overnight, the project tanked and they were delayed with a lot of things. They overhired. So I was like, okay, plan B, here we go. So I just used that as my opportunity to go back into coaching. And this time in, what I was doing for the startups, which was business and marketing and that kind of thing. So copywriting and sales and all that. And not to say that it was my full-time position right off the bat. I did have side hustles along the way, but that's kind of when I went all in and had made it kind of like my only option and got me to what I do today, which is help coaches and online service providers book more clients and feel confident in what they're selling and all of that good stuff.
So as we talk about you and what you do now and how this provided this amazing opportunity for you to take everything that you've learned, the real life experience you've had, and sort of bring that all together. I know that you talk about sort of like the 4 top ways people can attract clients. Can you share what you think those are and what you've seen with that and how people can learn from that?
So there's 2 kind of parts to this. One is just the parts of a business that you need, which is leads coming in, you nurturing your leads, converting your leads, delivering to your leads, and keeping your clients happy or retention, right? So when it comes to the client process, here's where people, get overwhelmed, because there's so many different ways to attract clients. You could be on different social media platforms, you could be doing ads, you could be doing all these things. And so what a lot of people do is they have like their hands in 5 different things all at once, halfway, not really following through on any of them, or trying something, putting a bunch of money into it, not thinking or realizing that, it's going to take refinement and testing. So I always come back to the 4 basics of client attraction. And with any marketing strategy you're picking, you want to hit these points. So it's first of all, connecting with them in the first place. So you have to decide, what is my platform? So for me, I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn. Engaging. So seeing, okay, what does your audience want or need, or what do they want help with? Then pre-offer, which is something where you offer to help them with that thing and give them that value up front and give them a little mini result or win or something ahead of time so that they trust you and understand that, how you can help them. And then the last part, the 4th one, is the conversion or the offer or the proposal, if you will, whatever it is you're selling. So there's a lot of things people skip in that process. Like they either jump from connecting to proposal, or the pre-offer isn't, strong or tying into their main offer, like it's completely random. I try to always come back to those things because it simplifies, like, oh, you're going to a networking event. Okay. So you're going to connect with people. You're going to introduce, get to know them, take an interest in them, see what they want or need help with. You might give them something of value, after the event, or connect them with someone, or do something to provide value in some way, shape, or form to nurture the relationship. And then if they want what you offer or need help with what you offer, you might take that next step and invite them to a call to chat about how you can work together or whatever it is. You have to put yourself in front of your ideal client, and you have to connect with them personally. If you're new, like if you're not doing paid advertising, I think you do need to connect with your followers and make them feel special and acknowledged and, aware that you're present. So I think posting can be a way to reach and get in front of your ideal clients with hashtags, or if people share your posts or things like that. But to me, posting would actually go in the pre-offer category, where in your calls to action of your posts, because these people would already be following you most likely, they want to have a pre-offer, like a call to action where they could get some value from you. So in your post, you might say, hey, you might tell a story about your journey or whatever, and you might have a free training or free guide, or, do you want to know my 3 steps to how I got to this? And then what that pre-offer does is it would allow your audience, it allows you to know who in your audience is actually interested, because we don't want to, not everybody's ready to like get support or get a freebie or get it right. So what it allows you to do with your audience is have them raise their hand and be like, yes, I'm interested in this topic. In which case, you're not going to immediately jump to say, okay, well, now it's time to buy my program, but you can send them something of value and deepen the relationship.
Are you talking about actually engaging in social media? Are you talking about maybe sending content to them directly in a DM? Or is it just sort of engaging in the conversation and continuing to add value?
So if they say, yes, they want your pre-offer, you can send it to them directly in a DM.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
This idea that, hey, I'm so happy you're here. I acknowledge that you're here. By the way, I have this thing to welcome you. And I love that idea, Hailey. That's really cool.
Yeah. And a lot of people, just a side note, have this belief that people don't want to hear from them, or like, I'm a burden. And I find it's actually the opposite. I can't tell you how many people are like, oh my gosh, wow, like, thank you for connecting.
The other thing you said about the pre-offer that I thought was important is not only not being afraid to actually offer it, but also that it's lined up with what you actually do. I feel like people really get confused on that. It's almost like, sort of the compare and despair thing, but it's like, ooh, that offer's super sexy that so-and-so is offering. I want to offer something like that too. And it has nothing to do with what you actually do. Do you see that as often as I feel like I see that?
I do. Yeah, I see that a lot. Or I see people beating around the bush and like being really general and just being like, do you want some health wellness tips or whatever? And it's like, no, it's not attractive to your ideal client. They could Google that, or it's already on their newsfeed all the time. Like, so I think you have to think about yes, you do have to think about what's catchy and what is sexy a little bit, but at the same time, it needs to be your type of sexy for your ideal clients and what they need and want, not what somebody else is doing just because you think that's cool and it's getting a lot of comments on somebody else's feed. Like, that's not going to work necessarily for you and be what helps your ideal clients. The sooner with your pre-offer that you can overcome the obstacles people have to working with you or using your method or realizing that they could do something that you help them do. What are the objections or concerns or FAQs that your ideal clients have about what you do, what you teach, what you offer and sell? And maybe some of your pre-offers can be addressing that, helping them through that and providing a new perspective.
It's a credibility establisher. How do you think people can go from being super generic and blah to being more specific?
There's two different answers for this. If you're just starting out and you don't know what niche you want to go with and you don't know the pain points of your ideal clients or what that could look like if you're just bogged down by this and you're not making a decision, just don't make a decision and do start seeing how you can help individuals. You're going to have to be like, yeah, this is a test and I'm just trying to see what's out there. But when you get specific on a niche, you are able to be the specialist in that area. You are able to stand out in your field and be memorable. You have that opportunity. So to start getting clear on that, I like to ask yourself, number one, who has a problem or a dream outcome that they actually want and would pay for, who could afford it, and who is easy to find online or in person or whatever, right? And who do I want to work with? Because if somebody might be easy to find, but if you're like, I don't want to talk to these
Please
people.
Don't call me. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You're
that's not going to go well. Yeah.
Yes. You have to have that balance of those things. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
For me, I'm a huge fan of when my clients are like, well, I want to help moms. I'm like, that's cool, but we can't just that's a ton of people and they all have different problems and we need to get a little more specific there. If you could spot your niche at an event or that's where you're on the right track. You can actually know who they are and what you're looking for. And it gives your brain focus too. And then the what you can come up with those dream outcomes or pain points you want to help people with, decide which ones you actually feel you can deliver on or could put together something where you could deliver on and start there. And it's not to say, and here's the other thing that trips people up. They think they have to pick some niche and forever and ever be stuck with that. I would just suggest to your audience to make a freaking decision and start doing it and find out if you need to make tweaks along the way.
Yes. I actually love the tough love there because it's so true. Just stick to one. And I think what you said is really important is it's not forever. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people have a hard time with is they feel like, but if I do that, I'm going to be stuck. And that's not the case at all. And if we can get more specific, and I know it's so scary, that's why I kind of honed in on this with you, because it's scary for people, right? Especially these multi-talented, incredibly passionate people who just want to help, right? I hear that all the time. I just want to help. You can't run around and just be like, I want to help, I want to help, I want to help, because that looks like 9 million things, anything from being a janitor to a school teacher, to a firefighter, to a coach. I mean, it's endless. You've got to come down to what kind of help you want to provide and to whom. What are you learning about you right now?
Oh, I am learning that I can figure things out. I've always known that about myself, but I'm having this challenge right now where I have to try a million different things to fix this weird glitch in several of my email funnels in my back end, that something is set up weird and it is very concerning. And I fixed it for several. So the Overwhelm Masterclass, it's fixed. But for some of them, I'm still working on it. But it's been one of those things where I'm like, is this even worth, like, should I be doing this? Like, I have a million thoughts of like, should I just stop all of these funnels and like create new classes and stuff? And but I'm like, no, I want this to be fixed because it's a reusable asset and I could put it on pause right now and not promote it, but I want to fix this and refine it. And so my whole thing, like, I think my thing I'm learning about myself is like, I really like the idea of setting a goal or an end goal with something and continuing to refine it and improve it until you hit the goal no matter what. It doesn't have to happen within a certain time zone, like a certain time frame, I should say. But there's just the knowing that like you could set any goal and make it inevitable just by being willing to try as many different things until it works or until you hit the end goal. Like that is just like, again, this isn't something new, but it's something that I love about life and would share with your audience.
I love that. So if I'm going to sum up, I think what you're really learning, first of all, can we just talk about tech as business owners? Oh my goodness. But what you're learning about yourself is that you can always figure things out. And that sounds to me a little bit like grit, like that ability to keep going. Like you said, keep refining, keep learning, keep adjusting as things go along to make sure that things work the way you have envisioned that they can work. I love that. It's really cool, Hailey. Thank you. And I think this is a really important conversation. I have a feeling we helped some people today. I love it when that happens, Hailey. It makes me very happy.
Yay. Awesome.
So I believe, amazing, Hailey, that you have an offer for our people who are listening about Overwhelm. Do I have that right?
Oh, yes, you do. Okay. So I have a Overwhelm Masterclass because it is overwhelming, of course, to be a business owner. And there's many competing priorities, especially for those of you who are also moms or, family people and have other obligations. So the class just teaches you how to prioritize, how to manage your brain when you get overwhelmed. And I think we're going to put the link in the show notes because it's a funky link.
Yep. It'll be there
beforehand. But if you guys hear this and you're wondering where it is, you can always just DM me on Instagram at Hailey_Rowe, HAILEY_ROWE. And we can send you that link to the class.
That's awesome. And we'll have both of that. We'll have her Instagram handle and the link to that in the show notes. And for those of you watching on YouTube, it'll be under the video. Oh, Hailey, it's been so much fun talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been really fun.